Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank every single one of you for being here. Everyone who came together to celebrate the end of this crucial stage of our lives. I would like to thank the maintenance team who kept the school upright, the parents who encouraged us to finish this and supported us throughout, the teachers who pushed us and taught us useful and useless things, and most of all of my classmates. Although it may seem ironic or pointless to be celebrating our graduation, when in truth we will all be biting our nails and crying and going after everything we wrote on every single exam or coursework until the 6th of July, this day is to recognize us and all the hard work we put into the IB. It is not only the IB, but our basic education that we've completed this day. So this speech is dedicated to all those students who managed to write an extended essay in a week, who managed to write 7 coursework in 3 days, and all those who actually did take the time. To all of us who learned the importance of dedication in 2 years, and most of all, found friends and reasons to be amazing. It is strange to be standing here, knowing that this is one of the last times we're together as a class, and knowing that as from now, we are bound to face what is commonly referred to as the real life. As Lewis Carroll once said, isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, and then one day you look back and everything is different? Indeed, it is. And change. What a big word it is. And how many meanings of it have we studied, not realizing that the epitome of it is us standing here, 15 years after starting school. You may have joined the Edron only a few years ago, or it may have been a lifetime, as in my case, since you first walked through these doors and walked down these stairs. No matter which is your case, this school, these walls, the teachers who have taught you here, and most of all the friends you have made along the way, are the bearers of your secrets, your fears, and at least in my case, one of the most important foundations of the person I am today. It's also strange how time has flown by. It seems that it was not so long ago that we were learning how to add, and now we've all forgotten how to do it without a graphic calculator. I remember thinking, this is the hardest thing I will ever learn when I first ran into long division, and I still hold by that. But as we've grown up, we have certainly acquired several abilities which have made us capable of facing upcoming challenges. And perhaps, one of the most outstanding differences that distinguishes the Edron from other schools is that it's taught us not only the facts, but how to learn, to think individually, which I have found to be the most important skills in life. That, in great amount, we owe to the wonderful teachers who not only guided us and not only taught us about their subjects, but in many cases, showed us the joy of learning, and maybe in more cases, became our friends. So to the teachers, thank you for not letting us give up, even if in the last months we've all seriously considered it. In terms of growing up, well, we're almost there, and the terrifying question of what we want to be when we grow up is catching up with us, all of us who have it, avoiding it skillfully. However, as we are, we're already something worthy of mention. We're candidate numbers. We're students, we're friends, and we should be proud, because what we have accomplished is not something that should be taken lightly. It is scary, of course, to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life, but I assure you, it's fine to be in doubt, because it is almost certain that we will change our mind many times. Making a decision of this instance may seem final, but in fact, every day of our lives we will make choices that in the end will get us to where we want to be. This uncertainty is good, because it will keep us questioning whether we are where we are meant to, and if we are doing what we should. I am confident that every single one of us will succeed in whatever we choose to do. And although we have all learned the hard way that there's no way to achieve perfection, we're sure to strive for our best. The definition of success changes. It is not what you will find in a textbook, but what you make of it. But it is with pride that I can say that I know everyone in this class well enough to be sure that we will make changes and we will be great. In fact, I would like to share a short story with you. Last year I had the opportunity to move to Spain, and I attended another IB school, and yes, they may have had better scores and they may have studied 2 months and not 2 days for their exams. But despite all the academic success that surrounded me, I never felt quite as home as I have felt at the Edron. It is simple, but what made me realize that this class is by far a better example of family is the people in it. The friends we've made are lifelong friendships who've seen us through our best and our worst. But the people who perhaps we're not as close to were also a very important part of the formation of us as people. I don't believe there is anyone in this class who doesn't know at least something about each classmate and felt that they couldn't walk up to us for help, even if it was for homework. That is precisely what I am most thankful for. Being so different makes this class one of a kind and outstanding. And it is precisely being so different what makes it so hard to say goodbye. I must say, however, that we are extremely lucky. Some of us may be terrified of what comes next. Some of us may be excited, but I don't believe anyone will disagree with the fact that it is painful to think how much I will miss being around these guys every day. I sincerely hope that the Edron and the people I met here will still be a part of my life in 20 years, because what's past is prologue. But as all of the IB students will know, is that a prologue may tell you more about the story than the very end. What we have shared here, the mornings in the common room complaining about how much noise the year 12s make, the parties, the camps, the classes skipped, are perhaps what have taught us most, as what we learn here is not only for school, but for life. This is the point of inflection. We're bound to take different paths, and there will be ups and downs. However, one thing I've learned throughout the years is that with friends like this, we can be confident that they will be there. I would like to take a moment and ask all of you to think how much everyone in this class cares for you, and how you've made a difference in at least one of these people's lives. Now, we are sort of ready for what may come. And it is true that we won't be together as we are. But the way this school, which frankly to me is more than a school, has shaped us, is probably enough to get us through the worst. As someone once said, your life is defined by opportunities, even the ones you miss. In fact, opportunities will come up to you as many as hundreds of times a day. And it will be about choosing which ones are going to make you better. I may not be wiser than anyone else sitting here, but if I could offer any advice, is to always keep true to what you are, but mostly keep finding truths that will make you who you want to be. When you're 97 years old and you're thinking back to everything you did, hopefully you will be satisfied, not because you got an IB 45, but because it was worth your while. This is a milestone, but the best is yet to come. I would like to thank every single one of you for this amazing ride. It has been an honor to be part of this outstanding class, who survived the end of the world, the IB, and every disagreement we had. But most of all, it has been an absolute pleasure to grow up by your side. We have been privileged with what few people around the world are entitled to. This kind of education is a gift. And in my humble opinion, the best way to thank every single person involved in this is by retributing to society. What you have learned here is of no use unless you go out there and make it happen. When you walk out these doors for the last time, know that every change you've had for good as a person is bound to be reflected in the real world, because all of you, I assure, are life changers. So with nothing further left to say, but good luck, take care of yourselves, and I will miss you terribly. It is with both joy and a weird kind of sadness that I say, congratulations, class of 2013, we made it. Thank you.